Sure. I've always supported the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. What I will say has changed over the last few years is, previously, growing up in Hawaii, we have one of the most restrictive laws, one of the most states with restrictive laws in the country as it pertains to gun ownership. It takes weeks to be able to go and apply for and get a permit and actually be able to take the firearm that you purchased home with you. It's a pretty tough and rigorous process. So I didn't grow up around, shooting a lot of guns and a different culture than maybe a lot of folks have in other parts of the country. And so as I looked at what I felt were common sense policies around, uh, making sure that we can try to prevent mass shootings in schools and so forth. That was what was informing my judgment and my decision making as a member of Congress. Um, the thing that has changed in a very, very impactful way for me is seeing how the danger of of anyone in government overstepping their boundaries and violating our rights, and really understanding in a visceral way our founders' intent to put the Second Amendment in place was not only to defend your safety and your family, protect your family against those who seek to do you harm, but also for us as a people, as a line of defense to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government. And when you look at what has happened since 2020, in so many respects, we see more and more authoritarian leaning decisions and intentions and policies being put forward by our own federal government. And you start to see again why the Second Amendment is important. That's what I started to see and better understand. There were a number of things that happened. There was the Supreme Court decision that was made with regard to the New York concealed carry
Hmm.
permit case. Um, I actually read through a lot of the comments and the remarks that went on throughout that case and also the decision. And there were some things there that uh, provided for me some fundamental insight and caused me to look at the Second Amendment in a way that frankly I'd never had. And very simply, which is um, the Second Amendment must be protected as strongly and fiercely as we protect the First Amendment. You don't have to get a permit to go, and I don't have to go to get a permit to go and stand on a street corner with a megaphone
Not
and
yet.
start
Not
telling
yet.
people what I think. Not yet, but that exactly is the
Yeah.
point, right? That exactly is the point, is we are seeing this infringement on our right to free speech. We're seeing people in very powerful positions in our federal government pointing to the fact and questioning, well, I don't know if the First Amendment is relevant anymore. I don't know that it is necessary. And frankly, people who are even saying like it shouldn't exist in order to protect people from what they call so-called hate speech or from
Hmm.
people being offended or whatever the case may be. And then again, for me, seeing these policies, these statements, this kind of direct undermining of our fundamental God-given rights that are enshrined in the Constitution further highlighted and really brought home for me in a way that that hadn't happened for me before, with the importance of the Second Amendment and why it says our rights shall not be infringed.